Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Software Inc., where we're in the nitty gritty of it. To be honest, we've kind of maxed out our team. We tried the cash transfer, and overall, it just doesn't work out. Our cash transfer doesn't really make money. Maybe in the future we can go back to it, but as of right now, um, it just seems like it doesn't make money at all, and barely anyone uses it. So um, we are stepping away from it and then changing that team to a 3D editor team. Um, I know within the last couple of episodes, I'll keep like kind of repeating myself and doing all of that. I apologize if that gets annoying. I'll try not to do that, but it just kind of like, you know, you think of something and then you just like that's the only thing you can think of, and overall in general. And now we are kind of midway in between um, all the companies that are in the series, um, or in the open world, so to speak. There's new companies that will be populating throughout time, but right now Dice is their main company that is higher up. Then we got Hitachi, Warner Bros, Lionhead, Intel, Nokia, Nvidia, SCS Software, Mad Cants, and then there's us. And we were kind of lucky with where we're at because I would take a risk and um, hire employees, or the high employees, and because they're worth a lot of money, and not take low employees to try and build them way up. I Overall, I wonder in this game, because this game is also being updated as it goes on too as well. I know it's like another series within my YouTube channel, Pro Wrestling Sim, that game would get updated every 2 to 3 months. And so as I was playing it, things would, either not necessarily ruin the plan of what is happening because you're still trying to be the best company, as in here and also in that game, um, where it just like seems like so much is happening at one point, and then you just kind of have to, you know, take a break from that game and see like where the finished product is. It's a fun game to play, and so is this game. But just like when you have so many updates going on at once, then it's just like you kind of have to wait until it subsides and see what happens, because after the first time it kind of happened, it kind of reset all of the settings, and so when you had something going, or like it seemed like it was progressively going, and you think like you're doing the right thing, and then they do like an update that, yes, it's very overall upgrading, and also trying to think of like the thought of like easy to manage, so to speak, or just like have more options of what you can pick, um, because before it didn't have like the whole um, you can pick like what you want for, you know, like kind of like for this game you can choose to have a contract with a company to market your product, to print your product, to support your product, or something. Not necessarily support it, because you can support it within your own company, or it's by default support by your company. But like overall, with having those options, and then in that game, you'd be able to like do marketing of ads, and what kind of um, like merchandise and stuff like that, like merchandise shop, how big do you want it and stuff like that. And as you grow as a company, you're going to need these requirements that like, hey, if you meet this requirement, then you have to go up, and if you progressively go up and then you meet this other requirement, well, then you have to go up. And it costs money. And if you're not making money, but then you're increasingly, popularity wise, well, then, like this game, like the more popular you are, the more money you're going to make. But it may cost more because you are setting your budget to higher amounts to get to at that point. But then you also have a product that is selling a lot in volume, so that can like oversight it of um, supply and demand of like, okay, the demand is very high and then you have low supply and stuff like that. But then as time goes on, it's going to help you out in the end, because as stuff is getting printed out, it's going off of the shelf right away. So overall, in general, we are in 1992. We started in 1980, and it seems like with all these series that we've done so far, is I'll get to the point where I'll build my own, and then everything just falls apart. So we're gonna be here for a while, that we've progressively grown. To kind of like the max of what we can do for right now, and the only thing we'd have to add is the cash transfer team, which we already have, but it's changing to 3D editor. So we will kind of see, do we have something started, and I believe that's Office software. So we don't have anything started yet, but we can get something started at this moment in time. And I know my intro was kind of long, but I kind of treat this as, I don't know if you can consider it a podcast or whatnot, because I do a lot of commentary and everything else too, along with it. And then I just try to pick a topic and whatnot and just expand on it. And while I'm playing this game, because this game can be pretty relaxed in itself as soon as you get it going. And they've done quite a bit of updates with this too, that I saw recently, that when you decide to move your company and stuff like that, or you get a new team, it will allow it to come in the same day, and each team can also have different benefits. So you can customize your benefits. Like, for example, Office software could have this pension and everything else, and nobody else will have the same pension. You can, by default, have everyone have the same pension and do all that jazz, but overall, in general, each team can have separate now. So I could hit the top, control, and hit to the bottom. Or you have to hit in between. I think it's shift. And then you hit benefits, and then if you were to, select on, unless if you can't do that, that it has to be different. So that's news to me, as well, that you have to be, I think you have to, there we go. Okay, so you would have to hit the check mark. So hit the check mark, and then it allows you, and then life insurance and stuff like that, which I'm not going to set it up yet, but pretty soon, within like a couple of years, I will add pension stuff to the work of what these employees have been working for me and getting me to this far, to 80 million. So we will kind of hit that play button. We will have a 3D editor that we will have cash transfer working on. I think, yep, there's only one cash transfer, and works, Expert Choice Studio. That we will be kind of trying to make it there we go. That is perfect. Could add this, but I think that's gonna add more waste interest. I don't need a publisher. Is there anyone that is better than that? So we'll have that as lead designer. We'll do the expert. They want more rendering, I guess, or kind of equal. Then that's a lot of wasted interest. So we will. So it's 3D in system at the moment, and we will hit the develop button, and they can work on developing that. Fast forward it. Cash transfer will work on that. It's a new day, so it's the first day. We got our servers right here. We will be pretty set. We have 34 servers with 4 processes and 85 for the live. So the updates and everything else. Are they working on Ender? Okay. So that's good. Then we kind of just made it where each team does their own thing at this point. So there's no kind of headache of everyone else doing whatever they need to do. We have one game going, which we could push it necessarily. Put a 10 on that. Mark it. So we'll have them doing that. Writing a press release. So I'll be good on that end. Even though it's going to be a while before I'm going to reject that. Seems like a decent amount of people wants our stuff. We kind of put a 4-month kind of breakdown of kind of put a 4-month breakdown on like everything, so that way, or like 2 months, depending on how long it will take to build something. So then banking will have to be all on its own. Once they're out of date and everything else, that for a little bit. So, Tri Studio. It's being worked on. So we will just kind of let that do its thing. We'll be able to get that done. No problem. So we'll be able to ship it out and everything else. And gain the extra money. Facilities are filling out. Consider building parking. We're kind of at one facility, so people are choosing to use the bus and not give you a $50 raise for right now. Their way up at this point. So what we'll do by age, so 12 right now, so it'd be 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So Move it to the live server. We'll be able to finish that in no time. We have 20 people working on it and them going to school. So we'll reject that. They're just gonna keep sending me stuff on Frameshop. Sweet. So that will be. That should be done. Should. And we have. At this point. It's not going any faster, so we will have it where it's gonna be in development at this point. Use our own, and once people stop kind of using it, then we will. Make a relevant thing where people are wanting to use the cache stuff. And it'll be more relevant in 2000s, which we're close, but we still have like 6 years, 7 years. So yeah, our stocks overall, we have to wait until 95 to kind of chip at partners. Shares, so to speak, because if they were to be so Expert Tri Studios doing just fine. Computer operating systems doing just fine right now. Office software is doing just fine. Worst cases within those rooms, we put together a second shift. Hopefully you're having a great day when you're watching this. I'm just doing the best I can with this series and trying to make it alive as best as possible. I know with this one particularly did a lot of and just kind of just experimenting a little bit, and especially with going the next step higher. And I know a lot of other people, they go to like the extreme or the expert, and I'm not necessarily an expert in this game, so I enjoy playing this game, everything else, and eventually will grow to we won the negative, and we got our economic down. That's good. We went negative 200,000. And then education, we had 5,000 last month, 5,000 already this month. Benefits, 193. That's probably the share overall, or the free food and stuff. Construction, we did nothing. Repairs, all that stuff. Bills, probably the water and everything else. Sales, we had 3 million, 2 million. So we're kind of going down in sales now. They're designing because they've had a 4-month break essentially. Wave tune. Gonna do 2. Essentially very quick. Rats 39.2. So we could have a temporary second shift team. Part of it is we're still marketing this. It's really not much other people that is going to buy it. Shop, and I believe that needs to be updated, to be honest. But we don't really have a team. It more kind of not necessarily difficult, but it just adds more stress to other teams essentially. Because then it's like, okay, well, we're doing this and this and this, and adding more to that, so we'll see what's going on with manufacturing. So that's done, expert banking, cancel that, because that's nowhere near gonna run out. Ender 4. I don't think anyone's gonna buy that, to be honest. In like a month. So overall we're in April of 1993. Just really, there's kind of really nothing different to do besides we just changed the cash transfer to a third team, and that's literally about it. Send this off to review. Let's see. And wave 2 and 2 went 5, 5, and 4. So 15,000 sold. So it dropped down a little bit, which is fine. So you need to make the best product possible. Especially it's the first game. So we need to put our time into it. Seems to be doing well. Press release. We'll wait a few months for it. There's no followers right now because it's gonna not be out for a while. So. It literally within 9-10 months. They're that good. And same with kind of frame shop. They will make it so quick. And Wavetune, they're on a break right now too. I'm almost gonna put it down 0. Support on that, so it's one less thing they have to worry about. Desgen has been doing pretty well. Less expert. The antivirus to it, because they have network. They're strong with that, so that'll be good. We'd like to see Expert Frame Shop Suite 3. Antivirus Ender 5. That's great. Accept that. So the 5,000. 5,000 is kind of on that cusp of what I want. We're gonna release it. Finances, we were -3 mil, but then we made a mil and made 1.7. Now we're at 1.7 again. You did 3,800 last month for education, 600 for this month so far. Made 3.3, and it's probably with Wavetune. Has sold 15 so far. 11,000. We can do that. Then we usually send that up to the top. Print job. Gives us a payday. We've been at that range. It's just whether if we'll like pass the hump, but I think with us passing the hump is having to get these products out. We need to have it, correct. It's just in the matter of time that we'd like to get them out, especially being the first game and then first Office software. Kind of 9.5. But I think stays at like 9.5, 9.6, then I won't change the iteration. But yeah, it'd be like a half team or half skill team or whatnot, just to kind of push these products out. But we kind of profitable way, and if it's one team doing it, then it's one team. Yeah, no, that won't. It's perfect enough as that. So then we'll use our own, update it. And then the only thing I would kind of do is add like another marketing team for like a second shift marketing one team, and kind of have that added with 5 and 6 of doing expert banking is almost out the door. Wide open where the other one was tanking with not many people using it. Empire Sender, no one's. Let's see if updating that will do anything. But I've gotten so many before. There's number 2. So I think by updating these, it would be not really worth doing, but you never know. And I think a lot of these, they do it themselves anyway. That's kind of. Updating, importing. There's only 28 seats. Okay. So we need a third shift overall. Okay. That's what we'll do. Manage team and update and porting 3. I'm gonna add them, and I'm coming in at 22. Leave at 6. We got all year to pick their vacation. They're missing a leader, so we're gonna be a leader, a programmer, high in value, and we're gonna do it. Update and porting 2. Filter HR. Socialization, multitasking. And good. We'll do this guy. You'll have your own team. And then manage roles. He's going to be a leader. Do that. I'm just going to look. HR management, 23 and 4. Say 23 and 4. Specialization, system 2D, 3D, audio network. Hardware we don't really need. Man, that would be nice if they do. Oh. I have it specialized now for what specifications you want. I remember seeing that, so that is something new too as well. That you can kind of pick what they want or what they should go for education. So, while that's happening, kind of let it slowly go. And then, okay, so it kind of just copies the 5. Okay, sweet. So if you've been in the game before, possibly, it's kind of done like the 5 specializations that it wants. Like for accounting, there's accounting. We could do 6, so it's not like I really need to worry about that. I know a lot of them are on star employees, so it's gonna be a while for it to gain the skill, but we could probably even send like 10 be fine. But then the only thing that's the kicker to it is kind of put like marketing of each like team, so maybe if they got like a second shift or something, it would help out. Especially 5 and 6, one of them is going to be specifically for the game, and then combine and do other stuff, or if like marketing is just going to be, all over. And it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. But what has worked so far is for at least these, for automation, that I've had different marketing teams for different projects, essentially. Because otherwise then it kind of seemed like it was a headache if it was the same team doing like 5 different things. So it kind of got to be a lot for that team. So then I made They have until August of 94. This is May of 95. And we're slowly getting up there. We've got 86 million. So we've increased by 6 million, 7 million within our time within this video. Haven't changed anything on here, and so it's now $10. I think I had $5 before. So what is this for? So we don't have to change anything on that. I think that's for the Soldier Lore. 9. We're gonna iterate that. I'll be fine. I'll go back a little bit. This may get bumped up, to be honest. So we'll have another press release. So hopefully this goes well overall. And so we're getting close to the end of this episode with kind of simulating a year per episode and seeing kind of the different changes throughout. Eventually there may be another game team and helping out with the game or creating a different game. Cash transfer we can kind of rename to 3D editor. Sport is doing phenomenal with what they have, adding more people to the accounting team, 30 people, which now they can go on education and all that stuff, so I think there's 30 seats in here. There's 27, so I have a couple people. So HR, well, either way, I can't hire people right now. So employees only worked for 1 year with raise your salary. Not trying to keep you hush hush, but oh, I know what we didn't do. Didn't add update 3 to any of these projects, and then there we go. Update importing 3. Fires ender. There's that. So we didn't add them to that because update importing has been doing a lot lately, so that would make sense. Manage teams. Rename 3D for. So there's that. And for the marketing, 3. There. That should change. All that jazz. Office software. So when it comes to that 3D editor right there. So there's that. Oh. Desgen. Those guys. For right now. Tri-City, I don't think has been hyped at all. So we're gonna hype that up. And press release. So there's that. So hopefully you appreciate this episode, and hopefully you have a good rest of your day.